This is a Star News Brief. I'm Samuel Otieno. President William Ruto is set to address top members of his party at a time when they allowed calls from within to overhaul his executive. The meeting slated for Friday next week will be attended by, among others, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who has publicly called out a section of Kenya Kwanza top dogs for talking down on Kenyans. The National Governing Council meeting, the first since Ruto rode to power, will also be attended by all UDA elected leaders and party officials. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 40 shillings through www.mgazeti.com. The family of a Kenyan man living in the United States who was killed by police officers while in custody in March will receive $8.5 million in compensation. Ava Otieno, 28, who had been nursing bipolar condition, died under the choking weight of 7 police officers who piled pressure on his neck and other parts of the body to restrain him when he experienced an episode of the condition at a county jail in Richmond, Virginia. Otieno grew up in the US and spent all his school years in the country before venturing into his career of artistry. The Ministry of Health is working with counties and various partners to ensure health services are not disrupted should the predicted El Niño rains pound the country. In the ministry's comprehensive contingency plan for El Niño unveiled on Thursday, they want to ensure stockpiles of emergency response health supplies and materials are readily available. In addition, the focus is on establishing temporary health facilities in areas prone to flooding. Temporary facilities will also be established in areas where facilities may become inaccessible due to floods. One day 2 weeks ago, a Nakuru family started receiving sympathy messages about Moseti, their last-born son who was remanded at the local GK prison. Panicking and fearful, their response was to dash to the Nakuru GK prison to check on the 34-year-old man. No formal information was available except informal bits and pieces that hinted that Moseti was no longer at the facility. He had been taken to the Nakuru General Provincial Hospital. The man's sister, Sabina Maroro, says information available suggested that Moseti had been rushed to the hospital foaming in the mouth and panting for breath. Hundreds of Mau Mau descendants have suffered a blow after the Environment Court dismissed their petition claiming ownership of 600,000 acres of land occupied by commercial farmers. They said, however, they would keep trying to prove ownership of the land in Meru and seek compensation. A few living veterans were among them. The petitioners, represented by the Meru Cultural Center, argued they were driven out of the vast land in Buri sub-county by people aided by the colonial government. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 40 shillings through www.mgazeti.com.